It is Thursday, July 30th. I definitely took this graphic down. I don't know why it is still up. It is time to get. We don't have a background. What is happening with this show? It's time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That's SP3. Off to a rabble-rousing start here
And
on this Thursday. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing well. I am glad to be here on a Thursday. We got a lot to discuss from AEW Dynamite, quite possibly the greatest post pay-per-view edition of AEW Dynamite. We'll discuss that on today's show as the road to All In began with two tremendous promo segments plus a whole night of great wrestling. So we'll break that down. We also got an interview with the great Joey Janela coming up
Allegedly.
in the show. Yeah, I mean, no,
I
no bets with Joey. There's no bets. There's no bets with Joey. He'll give
has
us more time to talk about Dynamite. So there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah. For people who are new to the show, welcome. Joey Janela has been on our show multiple times before. Every single time before, he has joined us. Literally every time. I think we're at three. This will be his third appearance, or he's already done three appearances. I can't remember. Regardless, every single time he
Has
has
he done an
joined the
interview
show.
with you and Joel?
Yeah, he's done like two
So
with
he say,
us.
so he's been here 4 times because I've done two here with
Oh,
Joey.
really? Okay. Jeez, I
Yeah.
didn't realize
Yeah.
that was. Regardless, however many times it's been, and it's been a number of times, every single time he has been booked for one day, he's never shown up on that day. It has always been the day after that he has shown up. So,
So you will see Joey either today or tomorrow.
and if it's tomorrow, we actually have a few guests booked for tomorrow. So we're scheduled. I hate promoting this stuff, but we're scheduled to be joined by Effie and Jonathan Gresham tomorrow.
Ooh,
So
very
that's
nice.
looking at tomorrow's show. Again, Janela today. We shall see. We shall see who shows up when it comes to this stuff. All of them have the link. Maybe they'll all get confused and show up at the same time today.
There's always the chance. There's always a chance of that.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. But we do have some guests for. We do have some guests planned for today and tomorrow. If they show up, fantastic. If they don't show up, then that's okay too, because we have plenty to talk about here today. Yes, including AEW Dynamite, including whatever else is going on in the world of pro wrestling. I feel like other stuff happened yesterday, but my memory is so terrible that I can't remember half of it.
One of the best G1 matches of the year was yesterday
Suji
morning.
and Ice.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the spectacle. We'll talk. Well, I guess we can talk about that.
Yeah, let's start
And
off with that.
you want to start off with that? All right.
Yeah. Has that been. I don't know if it's been the best G1 match of the tournament so
It's in the
far.
conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the best so far has been ZSJ and Uemura, but
You
I'm a
think.
technical wrestler guy.
Right. You think Suji's been the MVP so far? I think he's been the.
Suji is putting on a like I'm that guy type of run in the
Yeah.
G1 so far. He's had the excellent opener with Takeshita in Chicago. Then he tore it up with Goto in the main event of night 2. Then he had Sonata's best match of like the last 2-3 years. And then this one with Yuto Ice, which was probably the best match of Yuto Ice's career, singles match at the very least. And it was just so different from everything else that we've seen so
I,
far in the tournament.
I love a good like referee stoppage knockout finish as well, because they're so underutilized, I think, in wrestling. Obviously, as an MMA fan, like I see knockouts plenty of times, and I get it, pinfalls, submissions, and things like that. But I really do think like knockout finishes are underutilized in wrestling because it happens so often in like a real fight that a dude just he can't continue. I don't want them to like overdo it to where it does become like, all right, well, if I want to watch this, I'll watch MMA. I do think there is a place where they could do it a little bit more though.
And they've done 2 knockout finishes so far with Ice, but both of them have put him over probably as much, if not more, than his wins in the tournament so far. Especially this one, like them just brawling all over the place, and then the very premise for anyone who hasn't watched the matchup, the very premise of the matchup is Suji has basically said he's going to chop down Yuto, meaning literally chop down. I think this man threw about 100 chops in this one matchup. He hits like 12 in a row. He hits it in the crowd. He hits it at ringside. He hits it in the corner. They trade chops in the center of the ring, and then you just see Yuto Ice's chest get redder and redder and redder. It turns into the same color as Yota Tsuji's tights. Like, I was just like, my God, this is just brutality. This is just two men who just have incredible wills, who are just beating the hell out of each other, but neither one will give up. Neither one will relent. Neither one will back down. And I love the point of the matchup where I think he hits him with like a chop, and Yuto Ice no sells it, and Tsuji's like, oh, like he gets scared. He's like, oh God, what's going on? Because you start seeing not only is Yuto Ice's chest bright red, but then they zoom in on Tsuji's hand, and his hand is starting to bruise because he's thrown so many chops. So he throws one, and it's so weak, and he's like selling the hand, and Yuto Ice is just like, ah, and the crowd's just going crazy. I was like, these are the type of moments that elevate these type of matches. But yeah, like I said, one of the best matches. Definitely going to be on the best matches of the week for this week, and one of the best matches of the tournament so far. Tsuji is having that kind of statement G1 so far, and so is Yuto Ice in a lesser matter.
How about our guy Hanare? Maybe not the best matches every single night, but at the top of the block. So got to give a shout.
That's all we need to see. Hanare, you doing the damn thing. I really enjoyed his matchup with Oscar. I'm looking forward to him and Callum, him and ZSJ. There's a lot of great matches still left in the tournament for Hanare, but good start, leading the block. No one's touching him. He's winning this year's G1. You do in the weeds, you win the biggest tournament of the year.
Callum and ZSJ was a fantastic match as well.
That's the top five. That's top five of the tournament so far. Really enjoyed that. ZSJ is having a great tournament. I know
Giant
some people
loser, but yeah.
I mean,
match quality wise, having a good tournament.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, but yeah, no, he's been on banger after banger. Like, some people didn't like the Gabe matchup, but I thought that was different enough from the Callum matchup and the Uemura match that I really enjoyed that one. And then the Callum matchup and the Uemura match are certified top 5 matches of the tournament so far.
There you go. G1 catch up. Everybody continues tomorrow with. What block is tomorrow? B block's tomorrow.
B block.
Yeah.
B block. So it means 4 matches on the lineup.
I'm surprised they didn't replace who got hurt? Why is the name escaping me?
Shoto Umino.
Shoto, yeah. I wanted to say Ren. I was like, it's not Ren. I'm surprised because it was only one match. I'm surprised they didn't just outright replace him, and they just decided to cancel. I feel like that's been the precedent in New Japan, but I'm also used to now. I'm used to AEW when they replaced Darby. I'm thinking like, it's only been one match. End of the tournament, fine. There's like 2 matches left. Like, okay, fine. Like, don't do a replacement. But after one match, it felt like you could have gotten somebody else in there.
Yeah, I can understand that kind of like thinking, but the New Japan way is always let's just scrap it. Everybody gets 2 points, which can mess up the booking, but they always are able to kind of rework it in a way that it all works out in the end how they wanted it to. So I think that Gato doesn't want to deal with having to rewrite somebody in that has to get more wins than the person they're replacing.
Yeah, I don't know if they don't have to get more wins, though. I mean, you got to rewrite it anyway because now basically Shoto loses all of his matches. So
yeah, Yeah, I mean, but it's better, like, say, because look at the people that were kind of like in the qualifiers. Is El Phantasmo gonna get the same push in the G1 as Shooter? No. Is Tai Chi gonna get the same push as Shooter in the G1? No. Should Tai Chi or El Phantasmo or Yoshihashi, should any of these guys get the same amount of wins as a guy that they are legitimately pushing as one of the new young stars of the promotion in Shota Umino? No. So that's why they
No,
just go with the route of, all right, we're going to reroute it this way instead of having to reroute it another way where we have to give wins to people that we don't have plans for.
my counter to that is no. You don't have to do. I'll use ELP as the example. ELP is not going to obviously win as much as Shota was going to win. But Shota lost. Shota is effectively going to losing every match now. Why can't ELP just be in there, try to have standout matches, still lose, and it's still the same booking as
Because
Shota
that does nothing.
being in there?
That does nothing for ELP. He has to at least get
I think being in there.
wins.
I think being in there and like he's not gonna lose every match. They'll give him a win or two at the end of the tournament when like everything is decided. That's what they always do with these guys who lose the entire time. Like I think being in there and getting to showcase yourself, even in losses, especially in New Japan, goes a longer way than not being in there at all.
I think if there was like a noticeable like young guy that was left out of the tournament, then I think they would just move him into the Shota Umino spot. But because all of the guys that I mentioned are ELP, who's been in the promotion for 8 years, it's Tai Chi, who's been in the promotion for 13, 14 years, it's Tomohiro Ishii, who's been there for nearly 20 years, Yoshihashi, who's been there for like 17 years. These are all guys that they can't do the same things with that they wanted to do with Shota Umino, and it doesn't necessitate them being in the tournament to have standout matches because they've all done this before. They've all had standout G1 matches, and they're in the state where they are, where New Japan feels comfortable leaving them out the tournament. So honestly, having standout matches in G1 never helped them before, so I don't think it's going to help them this year.
That's fair. That's fair. Having people beat ELP might affect someone's character arc. If beating ELP is affecting your character arc, I don't know what your character is. Like, everybody just beats ELP. I don't feel like that's affecting any type of character arc here. I don't know. I probably am thinking too much like Tony of like just give these guys like a shot. Yeah, you're right. There is like not a great young talent you're gonna put in there. So, and maybe the older guys don't want to do the G1 schedule. I can completely understand that. I don't think like ELP would be against doing the G1 schedule, but maybe he has other stuff. Maybe he did take other bookings. There's obviously people who are doing the like the tag team matches every night that are there that can work and are still in Japan. They don't have any other bookings. So
I would have replaced him with Hartley Jackson. If you want a guy who can have standout matches, who can lose every match basically except for like maybe one, and he will get something out of having those standout matches, the perfect person is Hartley Jackson.
Okay. Yeah, we're just using ELP as an example because I didn't feel like naming. No, I'm telling the chat as well because they seem, some of them seem stuck on like ELP is the guy we have chosen to be the replacement. That's not the case at all. I've just been saying ELP just because like that was a name SP3 threw out, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna use that name. But no, there's plenty of options they can choose from here. Should have been Toru Yano, obviously.
Of course, because everyone needs a day off. I was saying,
that's a day off. That's the same as just having a victory.
I've been telling everybody. I was like, yo, everybody's been telling me, oh, A block is so much better than B block, and I was like, yeah, it's so much better than B Block because B Block doesn't have Shota Umino, and people like laugh and be like, "Oh, Shota Umino is not that great for him to be such a big factor." I was like, but when you looked at B Block before his injury, it was a lot more balanced than A Block. A Block is definitely being carried by Yoda Tsuji, Shingo Takagi, Hiroki Goto, Yuto Ice, Konosuke Takeshita, and not by Jake Lee, Sonata. The people in this block got 2 nights off. I could watch a G1 show and just skip the first 2 matches on an A block night because I know it's 3 nights off, Jeremy, because you got Sonata, Jake Lee, and Great Okan in the same fucking block.
Yeah,
how the hell is anybody telling me A block is so much better than B block? What the hell?
Okan's been rough.
You get 3 nights off. Yeah, like at least Sonata can say he has the Yoda Tsuji match, and he had a good match with Oyawa yesterday. Jake Lee had a pretty decent matchup with Konosuke Takeshita in the tournament. Great Okan has not had a good matchup.
Nah, nothing. Nothing. I like Great Okan, but it's been rough on these streets for him, unfortunately.
It is though easier to kind of catch up because of that. Because B Block only has like 4 matches, and sometimes you might want to skip the Ren Narita match, so you only have 3 matches to watch. And then with A Block, depending on the night, you only have like 2 to 3 matches for you to watch if you want to skip the Jake Lees of the world and Great Okans and Sonatas. Yeah. Even though Sonata has not been a miss this tournament. Sonata's not been a miss.
Much better than expected. Better than expected. I had very low hopes for Sonata.
I did too. Ever since the Tsuji matchup, I've been like, you know what? I'm gonna ride with you. I'm gonna ride with you. It's like when Evil signed with WWE, and I was like, you know what, Naraku? I'm gonna ride with you. I'm gonna ride with you now. Now that you out in New Japan, I'm gonna ride with you. Now that Sonata is said Evil's gone, let me actually put on my working boots. I'm gonna ride with him.
Let's get into Dynamite, because if Joey does join us, we'll probably have to split this review anyway. Yes. So let's go ahead and jump into it. C. Delgado starts by saying, Dynamite, the world is talking about Nemeth and Hardy. By the way,
of course, because LeBron James going to be there.
That's right. By the way, guys, you can leave a thumbs up on the video. You can send us a super chat. All that stuff helps us out. You can subscribe to the channel, tap the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. I will say, like, the LeBron's not showing up tonight. If he does, apparently I got to review this TNA post show.
You're forced me. Oh,
yeah, that was the bet. If LeBron showed up, I have to review the TNA show tonight. So I feel pretty confident. I
think even Joel is hoping that LeBron doesn't show up, because he can review that show in like 20 minutes because it's a dual review tonight.
Yeah, I feel pretty
Collisions tonight.
I feel pretty confident that I won't have to review the TNA show tonight. They did this to get buzz, and like it kind of worked for them. Honestly,
I mean, I guess it did. You got people actually talking about it. I had someone, I literally was just retweeted it, and I was just like when they invited Eminem to Bound for Glory 2024.
Yeah, Joel and I talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, I had someone who was like, well, what's the problem with that? And I was just like, I mean, it kind of makes them look low rent and begging for attention. But I mean, well, if you don't have a problem with that,
that's the TNA way.
Yeah, I was like, I guess that's okay if that's who you are. So.
Yeah, that's the TNA way of low rent and begging for attention. Yeah, people were talking about it, so fun. WWE just announced they're giving away an ESPN Moment of the Night belt for every SummerSlam. Wait, every match? How do you do it for every match?
12 belts?
Yeah.
12 belts to give away?
There's no way it's every match. Hold on. Where's this at? I need to know more about this. It can't be every match. Every night I can get, because they do that in sport, not ESPN. Maybe ESPN does. Oh, like Peacock does that now. Like after the national games on the NBA, they give away like the chain to the player of the game or
Hmm.
whatever. Like this is a thing they do in sports. They for the NFL they do this stuff as well. So every night I can understand, but you would just give the belt to the winner. Like that kind of defeats the purpose. Like the winner is getting the belt. You're gonna give one of the this is the John Cena classic here. It's like Seth, you lost, but man, you hit the stomp from the top rope on Roman. That was the moment of the match. Here's your ESPN belt after you just got pinned.
The fans voted for Roman Reigns to be the winner of the John Cena Classic.
Yeah, there's no way it's after every match. Okay. Oh, I found it on Denise Salcedo's Twitter here. ESPN will unveil a championship that were presented at SummerSlam to ESPN Moment of the Night. So yeah, it seems like it's Moment of the Night they get this title. This thing's
Okay.
ugly as hell too. I mean,
It
not
looks
that that's
horrible. Oh boy.
yeah. Hold on, I'll pull it up here in a second. Yeah, it looks terrible.
Most things WWE makes nowadays, it seems like it's not looking that good.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, it's for each night, not each match.
Yeah, each night. Okay. Let me share my screen. What stupid. All right, there you go, folks. There's the ESPN title.
Ew!
There's
I feel like
there's a side view.
how people in Barclays Center felt when they saw the Universal Championship. That's ugly. That's horrible. Ooh, ew.
This is hilarious. It doesn't even look. I mean, I'm sure like the actual belt is very nicely constructed, and it's
Hmm.
but like this render looks terrible. It
It
looks
looks
very.
horrible.
It looks it's like cheap styrofoam
Yeah.
is what it looks like. Yeah, that's what this title looks like. I assume they're giving that like they're doing that at the on like the post show or whatever. Like I assume that on like the post show, like, hey, you got the ESPN Moment of the Night thing. And it's like, oh, okay. It's just gonna be like Punk and Roman are gonna get this thing.
I mean that would be the most popular thing to the fans. That's why I'm like interested on how they're gonna do the John Cena Classic, because if you have any of the top stars on the voting ballot for the John Cena Classic, they're probably gonna win because they're the most popular with the fans.
I want them to do this belt, and I do want them to give it to like one of the match losers. You know, like Charlotte wins the interim title. Let's say Charlotte wins the interim title. And they got Chelsea would actually be great with this, but they got Chelsea on the post show. It's like, Chelsea, because you fell off the ladder and went through 4 tables, that was the moment of the night, so you get this title. Again, Chelsea would be fantastic and make this seem like the biggest thing in the world. So that might not actually be quite as fun. It'd actually
She'll be
more
walking
fun.
around with the title and calling
Yeah.
herself a champion, and then she'll call her non-title singles matches title matches.
Yeah, it'd be more fun if like, all right, Jade wins the interim title and they give the title to Charlotte because she does something in the match. Charlotte's like, what is this? What? Why? Okay, thanks. I didn't win the world title, but you're gonna give me this. Jade will probably be the same way. Thanks for this.
I guess I'm
title.
a 15-time world champion now.
Yeah. Danhausen would be like, he would be good with this dumb little title. You can't give it to somebody who's like gonna actually turn it into like a bit. And you got to give it to somebody.
Give it to someone who's not taking it serious.
Yeah. Like again, Seth loses in the main event, but he had like a really cool moment. He hits the Phoenix Splash, and so that's the moment of the night. And so they're like, "Here you go, Seth." And Seth is like, "Oh, thanks. Just lost in the main event of SummerSlam, and I get this title." Oh yeah, give it to like
very
give
honored
it to
that the fans enjoyed the moment and the matchup with Roman. And they always remember, guys, every single Monday, I'm a visionary. I'm a revolutionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins.
Gotta give it to Oba. Giving it to the loser of Brock and Oba would actually be hilarious. They would not care about that title at all. Did Stephen James says, did Stephen A. Smith and McAfee design this belt? I could see Stephen A. Smith having a hand in it. It's
I can
just
see them.
they 100% just put like, what does a WWE ESPN Sports Center title look like? They put that in AI, and this was one of the options.
And then
like,
they
okay,
said, print. Let's print it out and let's get it to our belt maker. Now, what's that?
That's all they did with this thing. There was not actual thought going into this championship. Come on now.
Yeah, give it to Braun Breaker so he can feel better.
Oh.
Man, he made me feel so sad looking at him. Looked so sad in that promo on Monday. Poor guy.
That dude is just, yeah.
He's not happy. Like,
I don't blame him.
I think this might be, and I said this on the post show on Monday. This might be like the biggest example of someone getting buried that we've seen in the Triple H era.
I'm trying to think of who else would qualify.
I mean, Austin Theory, the other guy in his stable.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been people who have been like off television for a while. But as far as like still having a presence on television and then just like doing this,
doing nothing, being the fourth and most important member and being a mutant brute. Look at this picture. Doesn't this make you sad? Like you just look at this face. You look at this face and you just hear the music in your head and it goes, "Hello, darkness, my old friend."
LA Knight's a good shout. I was thinking, and I don't think people are gonna like fully agree with this. I was thinking Gargano. That dude went from wrestling.
He's getting punished for someone else leaving.
Yeah. He went from, Johnny wrestling to just, I'm hanging back here like planking and everything. And then when they kicked him into Johnny wrestling again on NXT, he was just back to planking, back on main roster. Like,
yep, they let him do that. It was like we just needed someone for stand and deliver. Sorry, man. Go back to laying down.
And then even CM Punk is like, "What are you doing?" And then that hasn't changed anything. He's still just doing nothing. I think Gargano.
Since we're talking about WWE, that Triple H code. Oh my God, that was an all-timer. That's an all-timer for me. That's an all-timer for me. That's gonna go into the pantheon of like all-timer. Like, I feel like that should be something that we all quote. Like yo, you're not liking something. I wish people would show their passion towards the wrestlers and not how it's written, not the booking.
Here's the thing.
This dude just finds different ways to pass the buck. He is always pointing the finger at somebody else. It's not him.
I'm going to, for people saying like real quickly, for saying like Jordan and Dragunov, like they're just off television, which can count. I'm not saying like that doesn't count as like being buried or anything. SP3 and I are trying to come up with examples of people who are still on TV and are just like falling completely off from where they were.
Like literally, like that's what I said. Public burial. Yeah, because there are people that that just get thrown to the wayside and are off TV for long amounts of times, like your Dragunovs, like your Jordan Grays. But to put it up front week after week, someone who was presented as a future world champion, someone that Paul Heyman was cutting promos for last year, saying that he's a future WrestleMania headliner, and he's playing second fiddle to a Maxine Dupree, Austin Theory couple relationship who are feuding with Otis and Akira Tozawa. I'm sorry. That is just like up front. Like it's not like Johnny Gargano is laying backstage and then they just drag him to the ring to get pinned every week. Like he's just backstage laying down being a joke. Ilya Dragunov's just off TV, not being used. They are up front and center telling you that he's not who we thought he was.
Yeah. This Triple H quote. Allow me to sort of defend Triple H here. just for a second, to play devil's advocate. We're fair and balanced on this show, okay? I get what he's saying in that I wish the fans had the passion for the wrestlers. You know, when the wrestler does something that is heelish or babyface-ish or whatever they might do, I want them to boo the wrestler instead of the writing of like, oh, his booking sucks. And I'm trying to think, like, if CM Punk is, you know, he throws the strap over his shoulder and it hits Cody in the face, like this whole storyline basically, instead of like, wow, this storyline just sucks, this writing sucks, why are they feuding over this, which is basically what we're doing because it's true. He wants them to, like, wow, I can't believe CM Punk is so aloof that he would do this. I can't believe Cody is taking this so personally. Oh, I wish they would really go at each other because of that. Like, man, I want to see them fight now. Like, that's where Triple H wants the passion. I understand what he is saying, and certainly back in the day, like, that's sort of where we went with a lot of things, you know, because there were dumb storylines in the 90s and everything, and, you know, it was like, well,
it wasn't until like really like the internet wrestling community got big that people started like blaming the booking, blaming Vince McMahon. Like, I think when, for me, as my personal like fandom with wrestling, it was around like 2006 that I started to hear like people blaming the booking. And that was because of like the DX storyline and things going down business wise at that time, and them just continuing on with the DX McMahon storyline. And everybody I saw online was like blaming Vince McMahon about that. But
right.
I know internet wrestling community has been around since like the late 90s. So there has been a small portion of the community, but it's never been as big as it is today. And I think that's why it stands out more to Triple H and why he addresses it in this way.
It's not only been as big. That's 100% true. But here's the thing. I understand where he's coming from with all of this. I get it. This is his mindset. He grew up in the 80s and 90s. Like, this is how he is thinking. But then, of course, in the same interview, probably the same interview. I did listen to the interview. I don't remember what this man says half the time. But certainly in other interviews, it's like, there's so much content. There's so much content. There's so much content that you can consume. And we put out all this content. What is half your content nowadays? Hey, guys, this guy wrote this. Hey, guys, this isn't real over here. This guy's just playing a character over here. This is the real human behind that character. So you don't need to be mad at the character, or you do need to be mad at the character. Don't be mad at the human. You don't need to be mad at the human or the character. Be mad at the writers. You are telling us that this show is written. You go on, I mean, I tweeted this out. Triple H is like, I wish people got mad at the wrestlers and not the writers. He says this quote 12 hours after Grayson Waller is on NXT television saying, I'm working my ass off. I'm doing everything I can to be on television, to be the best superstar that I can be. The writing fucking sucks. What do you want me to do?
Giving chances to that charisma vacuum instead of me.
Like, the writing is terrible. What do you want me to do about it? Who do you think the fans are?
Sucks. Like, that's what he wants. That's what Triple H wants.
Who do you think the fans are going to be mad at when you have a guy literally on your television show saying, I'm in the best shape of my life. No one can touch me on the microphone. The dude who I carried for 2 years is being featured every week, and he sucks. This roster of this company that I'm in right now, everybody backstage at NXT, when they try to speak, they suck the life out of the room. They're terrible. Meanwhile, I'm here. I'm putting in the work. I'm better than all of these dudes, but I can't get on television. Why? Because nobody's writing anything for me. Nobody's using me. Whose fault? Who are we going to blame? We're going to say the wrestler? Be like, oh, that Grayson Waller, he's so mean. I know that's what these little dudes backstage, these little NXT playing touch butt backstage, were like, this guy's so mean, we're going to go. Well, I probably gave that too much delivery compared to them.
I will be in defense of Triple H on the fact that not that many people watch NXT in comparison to their other shows. But then I will be back on the side of against Triple H because the biggest storyline going into this Sunday's SummerSlam Night 2 is Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, which is a storyline where Seth Rollins has said multiple times that Roman Reigns, it was born on third base. Roman Reigns got a push that I wish I got, and I'm not able to make as much money as him because of that push. Literally, it's breaking kayfabe in the storytelling.
Everything they do nowadays is, I'm not getting opportunities, I'm held back, let's talk about the backstage stuff. Like that's half their stories nowadays. You got Punk and Cody talking about, in 2021 or 2022, like, you set the path for me. What happened in 2022? Because you guys weren't in WWE to start the year. So what happened there to set the path? Where'd you leave? What went on here? Half their stories are little inside things. But we'll be mad at the wrestlers. Maybe just book some wrestling instead of
like all this stuff. And he does this. He does these PR tours, and it never goes without one of these quotes. Never goes without one of these quotes where he has a very adversarial relationship with his fan base. And it's just, dude, just do better at your job. No one will complain about it. You were good at your job, and no one said anything. And you were up in every interview and every press conference being like, we listen to the fans. You know, the fans is the ones who's in charge here. You know? And now, because you're not doing well, it's, we listen to the fans. You guys need to shut up. Stop being critics and be fans. Yeah. He's an absolute jackass. Like, I'm just going to call it. He is. He's a jackass. Wow. Someone who's always messing up but never takes any accountability for it, they're a jackass.
I mean, fair. I'm not disagreeing. I just haven't heard that term used in that way. It's just funny to me. It just popped me that's a term you decided to use. And look, WWE does they do the entertainment stuff, and I'm not even saying like I want wrestling in WWE because most of the matches aren't all that great, but
no.
Just do wrestling storylines and you will probably get wrestling reactions. You know? Like, it doesn't seem that difficult. We saw it last night with Mercedes and Willow. Yeah, there was some realness blended in, but the realness had nothing to do with you took this opportunity from me. It was you capitalized when I got hurt, but it wasn't because, well, Tony Khan handed you this opportunity because I got hurt. Like, no, that's not how it went. That was not the gist of the promo here. It was still based on the story that we saw on screen and not the story that was backstage. Mercedes did not say, hey, the only reason you got this is because I got hurt. And then in the middle of the match, I was like, we got to switch this finish. I'm not going to be able to do this match. I'm not going to be able to continue this. We got to switch this finish. You got to win. If I didn't say that, you would not be the Willow that you are today. That takes you out of the moment because it's like, you ruined that match for me.
Happened. Thanks.
Yeah. That's not what happened here. Like, just do what is presented on the screen. And I realize this all sounds very hypocritical coming from me because I was very high on the Grayson Waller promo last night. Or yesterday, and the promo was 2 nights ago. I was very high on it again because it actually had some... What?
You liked it.
I did like it because it had some bite to it. Like, as I said on the show, like, WWE has felt so lifeless. Even their top stuff has felt so lifeless over the past month or so, maybe even longer than that. At least Waller's promo was like, oh, there's some passion, there's some energy, there is some life into this promo. Do I fully love the material? Do I love the fact that they do this work shoot stuff? No, I didn't like it in AEW when they were like, well, the Death Riders are ruining the company, restore the feeling and all this stuff, because the company has sucked and the booking has sucked. It's like, no, just what's happening on television. Do
It's
that.
I call it the fiend theory. The
Fiend,
fiend theory
fiend,
is
fiend.
not that fiend, but the fiend theory is the fiend got over the way that he did. Bray Wyatt's the fiend is because he came out after WrestleMania 35 in the year 2019. Year 2019, 7 years later, is often viewed as one of the worst years in WWE history. So something with even the molecule of creativity would have stood out. And then when you have something with all the creativity in Bray Wyatt's soul went into that character, the Firefly Funhouse and the Fiend, it stood out even bigger than it would in any other year. And that's what the Grayson Waller promo can feel like to some people, is because you're watching Monday Night Raw, which was objectively one of the worst episodes of the year from the show. I think it's the worst Netflix era episode of Monday Night Raw, and had one of the worst segments in the history of Monday Night Raw on the show. Then you had SmackDown, which was better than what has been in the past, but it's not feeling like all that exciting about SummerSlam whatsoever. The level of apathy among the WWE fan base right now is at an all-time high. It's honestly depressing. And I'm not even like a WWE fan. I say infamously all the time, I would not be watching Raw and SmackDown unless I was actually paid to watch it, which I am. So I watch it. But I would not watch it otherwise, especially like right now. It's been really bad on the main roster. So something like a Grayson Waller promo and all that passion, all that frustration that had coming out of him, I can understand if that stood out to you. To me, it was a really good promo that got people's attention, that put Waller back on the map as far as like what he's going to be doing on NXT. Do I think it's going to last? No, but it was a great moment.
No, I don't. I unfortunately don't have high hopes for it either. In 3 weeks, he'll probably lose to Tony D'Angelo, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. You really capitalized on all of that momentum that you had with Grayson Waller. But I hope I'm wrong. I do. I hope that Grayson Waller, this leads to something for him. He continues to be able to use this upward momentum and remains on television and does get more out of this. And this works for him. WWE hasn't proven that they can do that for me, unfortunately. But as far as the promo goes, yeah, I liked it because it felt there was just passion and energy to it. I don't like the let's rail against the company and everything, because they're trying to babyface the company by using a heel tactic to make the wrestler the heel, but the wrestler gets babyfaced.
Yes.
And if that doesn't make any sense, it's because it's a dumb way to go about things.
It's so weird, and like the wrestling world and how fans react to it. It's also very weird. It's also weird how wrestling works, and it's also weird how wrestlers or wrestling fans react to it. Like I was saying, the Grayson Waller thing stands out so much because WWE content right now is boring and not creative whatsoever. It's like you said, lifeless. Whereas you look at the AEW side, and what's been kind of the conversation before last night's show was, man, some of y'all were way too harsh on AEW Redemption. Like, it was just a good show in comparison to the all-timer 10 out of 10 shows that they had this year. They give you one 7 out of 10 show, and you have people being like, oh, the worst AEW pay-per-view ever. Oh man, it's so bad. Oh man, I don't know. I think AEW's lost all their momentum. I saw so much ridiculous stuff being said about Redemption, and I was just confused at most of it. But that is how wrestling fans react to things. If all you get is great stuff, if you get something good, it's horrible. If all you get is horrible stuff, if you get something good, it's great. That's how being a wrestling fan is.
Yeah. Because for AEW, and again, people were mad at me yesterday because I said I like this promo. Maybe this isn't fair, but the bars are different for each company right now.
It is sad but true. I get people all the time that be like, "Oh yeah, man, you guys are never as harsh on WWE as you are on AEW." And AEW, I was like, I have different standards for AEW than I do for WWE. I know WWE like the back of my hand. I can tell you what they gonna do. I can tell you what they want to do, and I can tell you what they could have done. Like I could break it down in that way. I know them. I have a different standard for AEW because I know that if something is not right, 9 times out of 10, if enough of us are saying it, it's going to be changed. And that is very pleasant to feel like when we've been having to only deal with WWE for like a 20-year portion of my lifetime as far as major promotions in the wrestling world.
I think people also, not any of you guys in the chat, you guys are lovely. I think people don't understand is because we said this on Monday, SP3. It's like, yeah, Redemption by AEW standards, not the best. Not the best by AEW standards. Still better than anything WWE's done all year. We literally said that. So this is not a comparison of AEW to WWE as far as you guys are too harsh on AEW. It's like, well, I'm holding it to an AEW standard. Do you want me to hold it to a WWE standard? Like, I think if you're an AEW fan, you should want more for the company than, well, yeah, by WWE standard, all of this stuff is great compared to what I see on Raw and everything. I'm going to hold it to AEW standard. I'll use a sports analogy because everybody loves to use sports analogies. I'll use a basketball analogy because that's what we do on the show. This is what we do. I watched the Thunder play. If they beat, there was a game this past year. They beat the Wizards and like it was a close game. It was an annoying game. It's like, why are you guys like, why are we playing this terrible against like this Wizards team and everything? If I'm holding them to a Sacramento Kings standard, like, all right, cool. We got a nice win here for OKC. It is good. I'm not holding my team to a Sacramento Kings standard. At the time, we're the defending NBA champions. We got to beat the Wizards by 20, not by 2. That's how it is with AEW. I don't want to hold them to a Sacramento Kings standard. If you want to hold them to the Sacramento Kings standard, then everything AEW does is great. Let's hold them to a championship standard. And WWE, we're going to hold them to a Sacramento Kings standard because that's about all they've been delivering. If they can get better, if they can improve, if they can not try to be the Chicago Bulls of the West, then we'll hold them to a higher standard.
Oh, but like and I'm seeing like the comments, people trying to give their scores for Redemption. And I'm going to make another sports analogy. If you have 10 games and the first game you win by like 20 and all your players scored, everybody's in double figures, everybody had a good time. Second game, you win a close buzzer beater. It told a great story, and you won in the end. You pulled it out. Next game, you had one of the best games of your lifetime. People dropping 50. Someone's got a triple-double. Then the fourth game, you lost by like 57 points. The biggest blowout in your franchise history. Next game, you lost by 20. Still a big blowout, but not the biggest blowout in your franchise history. And then the next game after that, you came out and you were like 0 for 30 to start off. But then you came back, and in the end, you only lost by like 2 points. And then the next game after that, you surprised everyone because you were on a bad streak and you had a great game. Your star player had 40 and you won the game by 5. Next game after that, it was a shining moment, a crown achievement. One of your like underdog players had one of the biggest moments, one of the biggest milestones of their career in a great game for y'all. Y'all won again. And then the final game, one of the rookies on your team, he came out, he had a 30-point game. Your star player dropped 50 with a triple-double. And then you went into overtime and you won the game by 5 again. Basically, I'm just describing the matches on Redemption. That's a 70. That's a 70. Why are y'all saying 6 out of 10, 6 point? Do y'all know math? If 7 out of 10 things are good, then that's a good show, and that's a 7 out of 10, a 70%. Y'all need. I'm just trying to teach y'all math. You win 7 out of 10 games. That is 70% of your wins. If AEW had a 10-match card and 7 of the 10 matches were good to great, that's a 7 out of 10. I'm just trying to help with math. I'm sorry, guys. That was like my favorite subject in school.
We were gonna review Dynamite because Joey is allegedly joining us at 11, and then we never reviewed.
We could talk like one segment. I know.
I mean, I started on the Willow and Mercedes segment, so I mean we can pick up there if you would like. So Willow comes out, she gets her "You Deserve It" chant. There's a lot of streamers in the ring, well deserved. I thought this promo from Willow was great because it was not. I mean, she mentioned being overly enthusiastic and everything, but like it felt very real. And I'm sure it was. I mean, this Willow was Willow. You know what I mean? Like, but it didn't feel like a hokey celebration for her. And you run the risk of that sometimes when you do these type of celebration. It is somebody like Willow who is Miss Smiley out here. Like, you can run the risk of it just being like a little too hokey with things, and this did not feel like that. I thought this was a great promo by Willow of, don't give up, keep going. The warrior princess, and she said she went to a dark place. Her mom's help her. She called her mom the warrior princess, and
mom called her warrior.
Yeah, sorry. And she just looks dead in the camera. It's like, if life is kicking you down, kicking you around, don't give up and keep fighting and push through. And then Mercedes comes out. And she gets booed so bad. And I'm like, oh, genuine babyface heel dynamic, genuine babyface heel heat here. What is this like? What we don't see this in wrestling anymore. It just doesn't happen. And Mercedes interrupts her. Again, the crowd is booing just the shit out of her, which is great. Absolutely great. And she's just like, sign the contract. Oh, here. Sign this thing. Make it official. And Willow goes at her for like, I have the championship that you can't win. You're not getting the attention. You're mad. And Mercedes is like, I don't like you because, not because of your smile or the fans or anything, but because I had to immediately fight you. And you took the title from me. And now you have this title that I don't have. And the crowd's chanting, shut the fuck up. And I like it that she fought back and she's like, I won't shut the hell up. She should have just dropped the F-bomb on there, which was unfortunate that she didn't. She's like, I'm ending your dream. I'm ending your fairy tale. She said, like, I made you. I elevated you. I gave you the best moment of your career. And I'm taking that title and I'm taking all of that away and I'm taking that smile as well. And then we had Divine Dominion, and I was worried that on the choke slam that Willow's feet were going to get caught on all those streamers. Fortunately, they still caught her up, and the Brawling Birds made the save. But this segment was so good, and the crowd helped make it. By the way,
the crowd. This is a top 5 all-timer Dynamite.
Yeah, crowd. Yeah. The crowd
and the arena looked great too.
Yeah. The crowd was fantastic for this because they could have easily just cheered Mercedes. Oh, cool. Mercedes, the big star, is here as well. Let's cheer for her and let's pop for her lines while we pop for Willow's lines. And it's like, no, this is what we want. We want the babyface heel dynamic. This is that good shit right here. And that's what we got. And bless everybody in this segment. Bless the crowd. on this. Like, I don't think it's going to main event All In. I know that's what I put in the headline because I'm trying to engagement. I don't think it's going to main event All In.
Engagement. You
It 100% was. It 100% was. Like, it's definitely
I saw that. I was like, how dare he after that final segment?
Oh, I like the final segment. That's the thing, is I really like the final segment.
The headline should be All In 2-night event. So both of these matches get headline.
No, I actually did like the final segment, but again, I'm just trying to engage in rage bait here with this thing. I like this segment more. I will say that. As much as I did like the final segment, I did like this more.
I think I can see someone who prefers the final segment over this one, and I can see someone who prefers the women's segment over the men's title segment. But this segment was absolutely outstanding. Willow Nightingale, that was one of the best inspirational babyface promos that I've seen in quite some time. Her getting so emotional, showing genuine emotion at that crowd. That crowd was so great throughout the entire segment, cheering on Willow, popping huge for every line she had to say. Willow looking straight into the camera, telling people never to give up, being vulnerable, talking about her struggles that she had to go with, talking about her journey throughout AEW and the past year, because it's crazy that she's a Triple Crown, the first ever AEW Women's Triple Crown champion, and she's done it in 8 months. That's the crazy part. Like, she won the tag titles in December, won the TBS title at the end of December. She was defending at the beginning of the year, loses it when she gets injured, and then comes back, wins the AEW Women's World Championship after winning, after coming back and win the Casino Gauntlet. So it's so great to kind of see that journey for her. This was like a cementing of her as like a easily top 3, top 2 babyface in the world right now. She's so good. She's been so amazing on the mic, and I don't think she gets enough credit for that, because she doesn't get enough opportunities with a live mic in her hand by herself, looking straight down the camera lens and telling a message to the fans. And the fans believe everything that she says, because everything comes off authentically Willow. So this was a great babyface promo. Without anything else, this would have been a great segment. And then it got taken to the outstanding, excellent level when Mercedes comes out and this crowd fully commits to the bit. This is the most heat that Mercedes has gotten in AEW. They're just booing her out the building. You can't hear her at times. And I love Mercedes really coming out and really showing that she can deliver a strong promo that promotes this match really well, because I feel like her job was to lay out the entire story and why this is the biggest women's matchup of the year for AEW. These are 2 women that have been connected to one another since May of 2023, when they faced in the finals at the NJPW Strong Women's Championship, and Mercedes Mone in the finals of a tournament that was basically made for her gets hurts an ankle. Willow Nightingale, they called the audible. Willow Nightingale wins. It's the biggest win of Willow Nightingale's career. And then from there, she's off. Like, remember, she just gets signed the year prior. And then over that year, from March of 2022 to the next spring of 2023, she's kind of used sparingly. She's not used consistently. Early part of 2023, she has that standout matchup with Athena for the ROH Women's Championship. And then, of course, a few months later, she wins the Strong Women's Championship from Mercedes. She goes on that year to win the CMLL Women's World Championship. She goes on to win the Owen Hart Cup that same year. And then from there, it's like success to success. She wins the TBS title the following year, has that great matchup with Mercedes at Double or Nothing. Later that year, she has that all-timer best, up there with the best women's matches in company history, with Chris Statlander at All Out. And then 2025, she's involved in the whole Death Riders angle, be the first woman in the Anarchy in the Arena. She re-signs with the company, and then at the end of the year, she wins the TBS championship and the tag team titles. And then this year, she's been the Triple Crown all in this calendar year. Like, Willow Nightingale has gone through it all, but they have been slow connected to one another. Mercedes talking about how she went down and all everybody wanted to do was celebrate you. Then I come into AEW, and what do I have to do? I have to go through you to get the TBS championship. And then I set the record as the longest reigning TBS championship. And who ends my reign? It's you again. And then I'm going for the title that has eluded me this whole time, and I have to fight you again. This is one of the best long-term stories in the women's division that we've seen from AEW since Timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May. And I just hope that they are able to continue the strength of this segment for the next couple of weeks. And they will next week. I think next week is going to be a great matchup, the trios matchup that they set out with Mercedes and Divine Dominion versus Brawling Birds and Willow Nightingale. And I have to give credit to Tony Khan and AEW because I think it is, in retrospect, we're going to look back and be like, you know, that was actually a smart move pairing Mercedes with Divine Dominion, because this segment in the end, it put over Mercedes and Willow as the biggest women's matchup in the company, but they also used it to build up the tag team title matchup. So I thought it was smart uses of the time. It was very effective, and everyone brought their A game, a home run segment, if there ever was one.
It was also a good move with Mercedes and Divine Dominion because it does make Mercedes more of the heel. You give her two heaters like that, you know, Divine Dominion shows up and it's like, oh, Willow's at the numbers disadvantage now. We don't like the people who have the numbers or who have the numbers advantage. At least we shouldn't. Sometimes we do. But we shouldn't like the people who are going to, you know, triple team the top babyface in the division, who had friends obviously with Brawling Birds make the save, and obviously they have friends with Harley and Chris, like friends on screen, but certainly in this last, since returning, really hasn't had friends on television. And I know the return's only been like 3 weeks, but you know, hasn't had the friends on the television. So it further heals Mercedes, and that is what you want. That is what they were obviously going for, and it worked out for them. And Divine Dominion, we know they're heels. Like there's, even though they were feuding with the Sisters of Sin, who are also heels, but we know
heel
Divine
versus
Dominion.
heel.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't make the pay-per-view, because Tony Khan's like, I don't do heel versus heel.
That's why Thekla lost as well. And look, Thekla does deserve to be on All In. I hope she still has a big match. This segment showed that, okay, that was the right call. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that was the confirmation. It was like that. This was the right call. Yeah. I'm hoping that Thekla gets a spotlight singles match, because I wouldn't mind that. I don't know if they're going to do a women's casino gauntlet, since they just recently did one. Maybe they can do like the tag team title match will be the second women's matchup on the card. Maybe we get a TBS championship matchup with Maya World. I don't know for sure. And then maybe we could get a Thekla spotlight matchup. I came up with the idea, and the rest of the True Heel Heat gang, of doing Thekla doing like an open challenge against anyone from Stardom, and it's answered by Kyrie. If she does wind up signing, now that she's signed with Barry Bloom, and she winds up going to AEW, you can have her come in as like a Stardom legend to represent the company and beat Thekla. But you're really having someone on the AEW roster beat Thekla, but it's also to tie up the whole Thekla versus Stardom rivalry.
Yeah, I know we talked about that on Monday, and I think that is probably the best idea, because that feels like it would be the biggest thing. Nobody currently on the roster feels like a big singles match for Thekla. And then just putting her in like a casino gauntlet doesn't feel big enough either. Like, no offense to Maya. Maya and Thekla doesn't feel like a huge match. Like, maybe they can get there because Tekla's such a good promo and Maya is such a good story. But an open challenge answered by Kyrie sounds like a much bigger deal, at least on paper, as it stands. Volub saying, I'd book Thekla and Suri for the IWGP Championship. Okay.
I mean, that's fine. I just don't think that that's a matchup that Tony Khan would book. Yeah, because I don't think he views, and I don't think business wise, if you're trying to draw people in, I think the opportunity to have, or the possibility to see Kyrie Sane come into the company, that's bigger than Shuri. It just is. Like, I know that probably be the better matchup because I love Shuri and I think she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. But I'm thinking about what's the matchup that Tony Khan would book and what's the matchup that draws more people into All In. It's presenting a surprise of a Stardom legend coming into AEW, and a lot of people will just assume Kairi Sane is available. It's probably her.
Micah says, "Morning, fellas. Won't be able to listen to the whole show. Dynamite last night was incredible. Masonic Temple was sold out and loud. Willow had the biggest pop, and they booed Mercedes out of the building. Cheers, brothers. Glad you had a good time."
Nice.
I know we had a few people in the chat who were there. It sounds like everybody had a good time. I mean, we watched the show. It sounded like a good time on television. So, and it was a great show. They're on a run of great shows. I'm glad everybody who went had a great time at the AEW event. Yes, we are at 11:11 now. Make a wish, as expected. Joey is not here, so hopefully he will join us tomorrow. We're 4 for 4, 5 for 5, whatever it might be.
We just know at this point.
Yeah, it's the bit. I respect that he is committed to this bit.
You know, Mikey saying that they should do a 4-way for the TBS Championship. What did you think about the match last night? I thought it was good myself.
Maya and Persephone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say good. I don't know if I can go much higher than that.
Especially compared to everything else. This was one of the best in-ring episodes of Dynamite. Like, you start off the show with that Andrade El Idolo versus Jack Perry versus Nick Wayne match.
I mean, the show kind of peaked right there in ring.
But then they followed that up with Speedball and Botito versus Kyle Fletcher, Brian Cage, and Jake Doyle. That was back-to-back bangers. Like, nothing else on the card could keep up. But I thought Moxley and Commander was really good. I thought the trios matchup was rock solid. Like, this was a great night in the ring to go along with the excellent promos we're going to talk about.
Yeah. I thought we can kind of go through the in-ring stuff. Andrade did defend the national championship against Jack Perry and Nick Wayne. Andrade did retain the championship, but fantastic match. Once again, Jack Perry proven to be the greatest worker in the world. Everybody, come on. We got it. Whoa. Oh. Yeah.
Wait, what did you say? What did you say? What did you say, Jeremy?
We're jacking off.
No. I mean, what did you say about Jack Perry?
Greatest in-ring wrestler in the world.
Well, how you know?
Because I watched this match and he carried Nick Wayne and Andrade.
How you know?
I have eyes.
How you know?
My eyes don't lie. Look at
dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Because you not seeing anything when that hand passes by. But nah. Awesome matchup. These dudes went out there and had a killer matchup. I knew it was gonna be good, but they just went to another level. They felt like Tony gave them 5-6 more minutes than they probably would have gotten on a regular episode of Dynamite. And he was just like, go out there and steal the show. And they did. They worked so well together. Nick Wayne got a nice little showcase here. He's putting on some muscle. I'm starting to see this might be the first evolution of Nick Wayne, and we might go through a couple of evolutions. If he could go through his Kyle Fletcher evolution, might be there with Nick Wayne, man. Might be there. But he was flying all over the place in this one. Jack Perry, when he went on that run, when he went on his comeback and he's hitting the tope, then he hits the moonsault to the outside. I was like, damn, he's going ham in this one.
We talked about it when he went back to babyface from heel.
Yeah.
It's like he is such a good babyface because
he is like this is not even close.
Yeah.
This is a gap between him as a heel and him as a babyface.
Yeah. Yeah. As a babyface, again, with his comebacks and his fighting from underneath, so much better than he is as trying to be a heel. Just completely miscast in that role. And I understand why they did it, but completely miscast in that from in-ring style and from presentation as well.
Yeah, so yeah, he was killer in this matchup. And Andrade, man, he's been one of the best stories in
Yeah,
wrestling of 2026. The guy that has always been like so talented in the ring. He just couldn't figure out everything else that makes a pro wrestler. Because I always say pro wrestling is definitely more about the stuff outside of the bell than it is like inside the bell. Because I've seen great workers who don't get over, who don't like become big stars because they're only great in the ring. They don't have anything else. And Andrade's just been on the mission in a place that is very much puts the spotlight on the in ring. He has just shined in every other way with his character work, with the little gimmicks that he does, with the selfie and the how you know, and it's just all come together. And he's become one of the biggest stars in AEW in a matter of like 6 months.
yeah. Andrade got the victory with the DM. And then after the match, during the match, they announced the Casino Gauntlet for All In. And then after the
Yes.
match, there will be a match. Andrade seems like he's going to be competing in the
For
match
the number one spot.
Yeah, for the number one
It's
spot.
a little disappointing because I would have loved for them to do the Andrade MJF matchup at All In,
Yeah.
but
I don't know what.
I kind of feel like MJF's not working All In.
Yeah, it does feel that way after this. Like I don't know. I don't know what MJF does, which is weird to say. But
Yeah.
I don't know what he does if he's not working Andrade at All In, because that was the easy story.
Yeah,
That's the story
and
they've been telling.
they can adjust this because they made it seem like Andrade's going to win this number one spot matchup next week in Arena Mexico, and they can easily have MJF cost him that matchup to set up their matchup
Yeah,
at All In. But it really sounded from this promo that he's probably going to win that number one spot thing, and he's going to be in the Casino Gauntlet. And the most we will get of MJF and Andrade is if MJF is also in the Casino Gauntlet, which would be a big fucking waste of MJF.
yeah, it would. He did that just 2 years
Last
ago.
year.
Was
Last
it
year.
last year? Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
last year. He won the
Okay.
Casino Gauntlet last year.
I know he won. I just my timeline obviously not good. Yeah, they just did that with him last year, so I don't need him back in that. I know we talked a little bit about it yesterday, but right now, like MJF, his direction. We saw Hangman return tonight. I'm not super thrilled with his direction, but
No, they had good use of him to start the show, and then
yeah,
they just said, "No, we gonna tell you. We positioned Hangman here." Oh
yeah,
shit! I thought he was gonna be in the main event picture. I thought he was gonna be involved in that story. He's in this story.
swerves off TV.
Yep.
Darby wasn't on the show
Nope.
last night.
He could be on tonight's show. Darby's
could
the type
be.
of guy who works both shows.
I
Same
hope
with
Kevin.
Swerve.
I hope Kevin Knight's on tonight's show, because I thought that was a little bit of a miss. Of this guy was in the main event, and then he felt like he did not exist on the show last night.
I thought the Don Callis backstage promo was fine for a follow up with him. I like Callis kind of telling him, basically browbeating him in like the nicest way possible. Be like, you said you didn't need the family, but I think we learned a valuable lesson that everyone needs family. And I like him to is showing basically shading Kyle Fletcher, being like, I don't know if you're gonna hold that title. You and Speedball are 1-1. You might lose next week. So I like that they're continuing that whole story with Fletcher and Knight, and then I like Callis being his shady self, basically curving Knight for not needing the family.
Do we think that it's gonna be Kevin Knight and Fletcher at All In?
No,
No. Okay.
because at the end of the segment we get Kazuchika Okada who comes out and says Kyle is absolutely right. The international title will definitely stay in the Don Callis family. They're doing Okada, Fletcher, and Takeshi.
And they don't gotta.
They have basically like eliminated all the other options that could have been triple threats because they're doing this triple threat. So I don't think they're gonna revert from that because Knight has other options himself. He can face Speedball if they want to heat up that story. He could face Darby, who cut that promo on Collision that he's not done with Knight.
Yeah.
So hopefully they follow that up on tonight's show.
Okay. No, that makes sense. I think it's Kevin Knight and Darby in some type of gimmick match.
Yeah, I can see casket match.
Casket match, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's possible. And maybe it's a set your opponent on fire match or something, since Darby
Which Darby is an expert
likes to, yeah, Darby likes to play with fire. I could see that. I know. I mean, Kevin Knight and Speedball has been mentioned, and we talked about a little bit about that as a possibility for All In. The Darby match feels bigger right now.
Yeah.
Like, because if Darby's not facing Kevin Knight, where does he fit?
Mm-hmm. If Speedball's not facing Kevin Knight, where does he fit? Like this?
Yeah, Speedball's a little bit more forgivable though. Like, I love Speedball, but
yeah, no, Darby.
He was not the world champion 2 months ago.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Darby, you have to have in a big matchup on the show.
Yeah. Henry, what is Swerve doing? SP3 and I talked about this. I think it's Swerve and Jericho. I think that's where they end up still.
I can see that.
Otherwise, I don't know.
I've sold myself on that matchup.
Yeah. Kevin Knight Speedball at All Out. That makes sense. What if Swerve wins the Casino Gauntlet?
I can see them putting them in there. That's a waste of Swerve. And there's a certain level of star that should, you could put 1 star to carry everything in that Casino Gauntlet. So Andrade being in there, I think is enough. I think honestly, if Andrade's the biggest star in the Casino Gauntlet, I'll be okay with that. Swerve, you could put him against Chris Jericho. MJF, we've talked about for months. He has so many different options. Like, there's no reason why he should be in that Casino Gauntlet.
Yeah. I don't think Mox is winning the Casino Gauntlet, although
it sounds like he's going to be in the Continental Cup.
Yeah, that was... All right, is the Continental Classic just now going to be, like, for a cup instead of the title?
Or are they going to do a mini version of the Continental Classic ahead of All In? Because that's what it sounded like to me.
I don't love that.
Me either. I was so confused.
Why would you do that?
I was like, if he's talking about the Continental Classic, it's way too early to be talking about that.
Yeah, it's definitely Continental Cup. They even put that on socials. They were like Continental Cup. So, yeah, that was... Maybe we'll get more off of that. But yeah, Moxley's talking about the Continental Cup. And I'm like, what? I mean, sure. I'm completely fine if they turn this title into a Continental Cup and you just get that and we don't have this Continental title anymore. Like, John Moxley can just have these matches. This Continental title does not need to be part of these matches. I really like the Commander match. My complaint, as always, will be it was a little bit too long.
It was way too long.
Honestly. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not alone on that.
It was way too long.
Yeah, I really liked it though. I love,
especially considering when it came on. They announced that match was next at like 9:30, and then they also announced we also got the trios title match. And Kenny Omega will be here. Kenny Omega, we promise. Kenny Omega will be here. Kenny Omega, still please stick around. Please watch this conglomeration matchup. Kenny Omega will be here afterwards. I promise. We promise. They said that so many times during those last two matches. They kept saying Kenny Omega will be here. Promise. Please stay. Please stay. Kenny Omega will be here. Kenny Omega will be here. Kenny Omega will be here.
I don't think Mox slipped up, by the way. I thought that at first, but then the social team, I mean, maybe the social team is just covering for him, but they reference Continental Cup too. I don't think Jon Moxley is that bad to where he's gonna fuck that up like that. You know, like Jon Moxley's a really good promo, and yes, he can talk in riddles and tongues sometimes, but his material doesn't lack to where he's going to miss the point on these things. He's not going to say Continental Cup if he's not explicitly trying to say Continental Cup. Sure. He knows he has the title. He knows it's the Continental Classic. They did trademark Continental Cup. So there is something to the Continental Cup. Like, there 100% is. I just don't know fully what he was talking about. Maybe it will get explained. But yeah, I don't think it was a slip up or anything. I legitimately just think that it was something he said and they just haven't explained it yet,
Yeah.
and hopefully they will sooner rather than
And
later.
he said the whole locker room is buzzing about it. I was like, they ain't even announced it yet. What are you talking about? Why they
That's how
buzzing?
buzzed they are about it. Like, damn, this thing hasn't been announced, and we're so excited for this.
Aren't you buzzed for the Continental Cup?
Yeah.
They talk about the Continental Cup like it's the Catalina wine mixer. Like, you excited for the Continental Cup? Oh man, I can't wait for the Continental Cup.
Brodito and Mike Bailey did defeat the Don Callis family B plus A minus team. A minus team? A minus team?
Yeah, A minus. A minus
Yeah.
seems about right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the A minus team.
Yeah.
Brodito and again Speedball got the victory there. Speedball got the pin on Jake Doyle, so he gets that win back after he lost to Jake Doyle, which was still a weird call. Like,
still a weird call, but hey, he got his win. I knew when I saw who was in this matchup, I knew what the finish was. I was like, Speedy's gonna get his win.
Yeah,
against
Speedball is
Jake
gonna get the win. Yeah.
No, I knew it was specifically gonna be Jake Doyle.
Right.
I was like, because he beat him. I was like, you got to get him his win back before his title match. That's who he's gonna beat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't that surprised when he pinned them there. But great matchup. Everybody was working hard. Bandito coming off of that incredible matchup with Fletcher, probably worked harder than anybody else in this matchup. Like, he was flying all over the place, showing off the power. He was moving really fast, between the ropes, outside the ring. He was going crazy in this matchup. Awesome performance by him.
Yeah, fantastic match. Speedball gets some momentum going into.
I also liked Speedball getting the win with the same way he beat Fletcher in the C2.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was the double knees, right, and then the roll up.
Yeah, it's the arm and leg trap roll up.
Yeah. I was trying to recall what he actually went with. Yeah, and then Fletcher looking on horrified as he won in that way. The sit down interview with the Bucks and Cage and Cope. I thought this was really, really good. Like,
I thought it was terrific.
People know I'm not high on Adam Copeland. He's coming to MLP. Good for him.
Yo, that was huge because I saw the teasers for the phone call and stuff, and them saying it's one of the biggest names in pro wrestling history. And despite him being in AEW for 3 years, I never will think of Adam Copeland in that regard, or think that he's going to go to an independent promotion. This is going to be his first independent wrestling show since 2001.
Yeah, which is insane because he's always just been in WWE, and then he went to AEW. No, that was a good get. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, and we mentioned Cope, Christian, Jericho as possibilities. When I first saw it, I thought it was Brett. Brett was on the show last night. He was on Mayhem. He did a voiceover.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but it was Copeland, and he's talked about he wanted to wrestle at Maple Leaf Gardens, so it makes sense. That shows in what used to be Maple Leaf Gardens. So that was good. But now we are getting this sit down interview last night again. I thought this was really good, especially Christian, because Christian is much better.
Christian's the best. Christian he changes the whole dynamic of every feud Cope and Cage can have by just saying his outlandish things. And maybe this is like a hot take, or maybe I'm alone on this one. This segment sold me on it being 2-on-2. They don't.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought that, like, I was kind of waiting for FTR to show up when they both mentioned greatest tag team of the generation and everything. I thought FTR was about to interrupt right then, and like when they didn't, I'm like, okay, this has got to be 2-on-2. Like, you still have a few weeks to insert FTR. I don't think they're needed though.
I don't think they're needed because that's another big matchup you could save if you want to do a stadium show during WrestleMania weekend, because that's a draw. That's a draw you can use when you're competing with the biggest wrestling show of the year. So and then the fact that they have saved this matchup, they haven't even like hinted towards they've hinted towards it for months, but they haven't even touched it. The Young Bucks versus Coping Cage, and because the dynamic feels so fresh, because they haven't really interacted with Cope so much. They've barely interacted with Christian since like he first came into the company in 2021. It feels so fresh, so new, and I like the fact that you have 3 big matches, which realistically should get the fans like positive support or positive reactions to everyone involved. And they're telling 3 different stories with these people. Like Mercedes is not really is a heel, but she gets a positive reaction a lot of times from the fans. So they went in that way. They're going, okay, we're gonna make sure Willow is the 100% babyface. Mercedes is the undeniable heel. We're doing a babyface versus heel story there. Then with the Bucks and Coping Cage, they're going the respect route. These are 2 teams that respect each other. They understand their legacies in the company, and they're trying to prove who is the greatest team of all time. And then with the main event of Ospreay and Omega that we'll get into, they're telling a more complex story of these 2 very conflicted and flawed baby faces going at it with one another. And I think that is very, very ballsy, as well as very, very innovative in the world of wrestling, when you have these 3 big matchups where everyone can get a positive reaction, and you're deciding we're going to tell 3 different styles of stories. And I think that's cool. And it's the reason why AEW is supposed to be around, because we're not going to get that from the other big promotion in the world of wrestling.
Well, we're getting different stories in the other promotion. I don't know if
we're getting I give up my title because I'm a dummy and I want to face you in Hell in a Cell. So then but in response to that, I am Brock Lesnar, and I'm gonna lock this black man in this cage with his bosses, and I'm gonna flip him off because that's entertainment, right? And we're still gonna just basically be riding the momentum pre-WrestleMania in fucking August. Get the fuck out of here. But then you got Roman and Seth, which is babyface versus babyface. Decades long story. Decade-long story in history. You got Roman, who's a gaslighting, manipulative babyface, who is more heelish, but then also you have Seth Rollins, who is a very egotistical, braggadocious babyface, who is very upset that Roman Reigns has gotten all the opportunities that he feels that he should have gotten, and he's gonna prove his superiority over him by beating him yet again in a big matchup. And Roman wants to finally beat Seth in a big matchup. And then you got the 3rd big matchup, which is 2 baby faces who have decades of history together, who are upset because a belt strap hit them in the face.
That was an accident, but this wasn't, little brother. Jules saying the tag match should remain as is. Have New Day show up to confront the winner. The story is greatest of a generation. New Day wants to prove they are the best to the winner. I've always said that New Day shows up as a surprise at All In. I never thought Motor City were showing up in this segment or anything. I thought if they were going to show up, it was always going to be tonight. I never thought it was going to be last night. I'm a little... it's your opinion. People have these opinions, as Tony told me. That's an opinion. I've never heard that one before, but that is an opinion. When people thought like Motor City was going to be added to this match, I'm like,
I never got that. Never got that.
FTR
whatsoever.
was the only team I thought that makes it. Even New Day, and I know they're supposed to be free as of this weekend. I know they posted that really good video yesterday.
Fantastic video. That's one of the best. That's probably the best leaving WWE video I've seen since Moxley.
Yeah, because then everybody tried to copy Moxley with like Prison Break videos, and this was still breaking free, but it was from a circus and it was animated.
And it's animated.
Yeah,
and there's little. I think there's no more emotional segment, animated vignette than the Big E unicorn giving them the nod. And then I love the subtlety of making.
Wait, that was Big E?
Yeah,
I thought it was Grayson Waller.
Oh well, it could have been him. Could have been. Could have been him.
He
And
was in New Day.
I love the ringleader looking exactly like Triple H.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. Everybody's making the same joke I am. I beat you guys to it. I didn't beat anybody to it. Like, it was, people made that joke yesterday. But yeah, that was a great video. But I didn't think they were going to be added to this match either. I thought that was always like an all-in type surprise. FTR was the only team that made sense. And going back to that, last night would have made sense if they had interrupted that. When they didn't, I'm like, oh, this should just be a tag team match. And kind of to piggyback off of what you were saying, we've seen the Bucks and FTR plenty of times. It's great. We've seen it plenty of times. We just saw FTR and Cope and Cage. That was the last thing FTR did. I'm a little... Because of that, I'm like, FTR doesn't quite have a leg to stand on. If they want to like enter this conversation, it's like, didn't you just lose to these guys? Like, why would you be in this match? So no, I want it to stay just a 2-on-2 match. Like, I think it's better as a 2-on-2 match. Yeah, and then like you said, you can save the triple threat match for a different show, whether that be the WrestleMania weekend show or whether it just be World's End or Revolution next year, whatever it might be. It doesn't have to, it can be whenever. Like, just save it for that, because now you have that one in your back pocket. So I hope it stays a 2-on-2 match.
Same
as well.
Same.
But
they really, and now you can do, because before I was like, they do the triple threat. You have New Day and Motor City Machine Guns do back-to-back debuts after the matchup. Now you could do back-to-back debuts and a return. You can have FTR return after the matchup with Young Bucks and Cope and Cage. And then you can get everybody excited, being like, we got FTR back after we just saw this banger with these two teams. And now we got the Motor City Machine Guns here. And now we got Daybreak here. Oh, my God. The AEW tag team division is going to be crazy. That's how you get people to keep watching after all of it.
Yeah. Hey, great segment with these guys. Anything else before the main event segment? The trios titles change hands.
Yeah, the trios titles and the Maya World and Persephone. Maya World, Persephone, like I said, I thought it was a good match, solid matchup. Persephone is really so good. Like, I think that Tony needs to get his head out his ass and start pushing her, because I feel like once her contract expires with CMLL, WWE going to snap her up real quick if he don't do something. So I think that she has a bright future, and I like that they did this whole finish of this matchup, getting Hikaru Shida still involved in the TBS title scene, and then having Chris Statlander return to stop Persephone from using the kendo stick, gets her involved. So I could see them doing a 4-way, because these seem like 4 reasonable women where I could see them being placed on the all-in card, because they, Maya World is the one who's been on the rise. Chris Statlander is a former world champion. Hikaru Shida just had the TBS title, former 3-time AEW Women's World Champion, and this would be a big showcase for not only Persephone but for CMLL as well. I think that would be a best way to put the TBS title on the card.
I don't love Maya's finish.
No, it doesn't. That did not look good. That finish, especially when it's on someone as big as Persephone.
Yeah, maybe that's why it just doesn't work. Is that she did it on Persephone and it didn't look great there. Maybe if she does it on someone who's smaller, it looks a little bit better. Otherwise, it feels like she needs to find something else. Yeah,
because before she was using the Shining Wizard.
Yeah,
but that's not the best finish either. So. They probably looked at her repertoire and was like, that's the coolest thing that you do. But unless she's doing it the 3 in a row like she did to Persephone, like she did to Mercedes, if she's just doing one, it does not look that good.
Yeah, you gotta
do 3 in a row.
Yeah. This basically catch suplex. It's like the Razor Ramon sack of shit move, but instead of a release, it's a bridge pen. Yeah. The pen is also because like the way your position compared to their body, I think if she like floats over, it's better. But like a bridge pen, there's no like leverage on the pen there. So like the pen looks weak on top of the move, not looking like great there. So I don't love it. I don't love it.
I agree with that.
The trios titles did change hands. The Demand won the titles. Blake Christian is now 1/6 of the trios champions because
What?
he
Get
leads
out of
out to-
here!
What do you
No,
mean?
don't disrespect Ricochet like that.
I love Ricochet.
Don't
Aha.
disrespect Bishop Khan like that.
I
Don't
love the
disrespect
Demand.
Toa Leona. They are in the weeds alumni.
True.
And more in the weeds. When you come on in the weeds, you win championship gold. So
Well, Blake Christian's also in the Weeds alumni.
he'll win it on ROH, not in AEW.
I mean, he should win it on ROH.
They're the next 6-man tag team champion.
I hope so. Well, they did help them. They did help the Demand win the trios titles against
They
the
did.
conglomeration. Yeah.
Blake with a springboard freaking belt shot.
Yeah.
We've now seen the flying belt shot over the top rope last week, and now we're seeing the springboard belt shot.
Yeah.
We're seeing innovative belt shots. We need more innovation in the belt shot field.
What was this in reference to? I mean, you can ask us a
Jeremy
lot of things
Howe.
about. That just feels like a general comment, like Jeremy Howe.
I agree.
You know? But I do want to know what the reference actually was on the Howe portion. This match existed. I don't know.
It was probably it's either this or the TBS title matchup. I'd probably take the TBS title matchup over this one. I wasn't really feeling it all that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is he 1/6? Because he is. He's 1/6 of the trios champion.
He's not.
What do you mean?
That's not how it works.
Sure, it
3
is.
people can have the trios titles. 3.
Why?
People, not 6.
I've seen 5 people hold the tag team titles. How come 6 people can't hold the trios titles? Yeah, that's what I thought.
You never seen 5 people hold the tag team titles in this company.
Yeah, they strip them of the titles, actually.
Exactly. They wanted to replace somebody in a trios title matchup, and they got the title stripped from them.
Yeah.
Freaking Bang Bang Gang. Never forgive them for that.
Poor Bang Bang King. Jay White's out again, it looks like, and
I think it was just like story
precautionary. Oh,
Yeah.
you think story? I hope so.
I'm hoping it was just story.
I was like, let's ask this person.
The fact that he landed on his head and then is out the next show, yeah, that has.
Let's ask this person. Is Jay White hurt?
You know, I found out I've got to be politically correct in talking about wrestling. I still have not watched Dynamite from last night. I'm about to. I was out yesterday, but
Yeah, how are you
Jeremy,
feeling?
do you have something for me?
What's that?
Do you have something for me?
Yeah, that's what we were asking. We were asking about Jay White.
No. Do you have something for me?
Oh, I don't have shit, crybaby.
SP3, do you have anything for me?
I don't think so.
I'm here. I thought I should get a title belt of some sort. That seems to be just a thing now.
I showed up.
We showed. We did
I
show
should
that
simply get a title
ESPN.
belt for not offing myself over how many title belts there are in wrestling. The World Perseverance Champion sounds like pretty good fodder for a championship to me.
World Perseverance.
You're still not even the Fightful champion. You can't even get that title belt.
I feel like I should be able to book that now.
I mean, I agree.
Jimmy's
But-
got the actual belt though. Like Jimmy won't part with the actual belt or
Yeah, Joel
my-
doesn't even have
my
it.
head.
Yeah, Joel doesn't even have the title, even though he claims
He doesn't
to be
even
the
have a
champion.
commemorative one that I do have.
Oh.
For
You
some
got
reason,
that on
Jimmy
him.
thought people would buy commemorative version. I'm like, what? When are you talking about?
How much were they? Or how much were they planning on
I
being?
don't know. They're still available. I think.
Are they?
Maybe, you know. I gotta eat lunch. Goodbye.
We should buy Sean.
I
Hope Sean's feeling better.
Yeah, I hope he feels better.
You know, he hasn't been feeling well the past few days. Well, I
know,
hope you.
he wasn't on the Raw post show. I had to review Raw 4 times this week.
I think that was a travel thing. Maybe he was sick as
okay.
well. I'm not sure. Sean's either a busy man or a sick man. One of the two.
Busy sick.
Busy being sick right now. I hope you're right in that it's storyline and that it's not anything, injury related, or it's precautionary because he did get dumped on his head and neck in that spot, and like he finished the match, but like adrenaline can carry you through, and then 5 hours later, or you go to sleep, you wake up, it's like, why the hell is my neck so sore? It's like,
and it looks like 3 out of the 4 guys in that chain matchup are not working these tapings.
Yeah.
Because the dogs are not on tonight's show. So
that's punishment for everybody else. That's not anybody's hurt. That's just, you guys gotta. We're suspending you for 1 round of tapings for that match.
That match was so bad. Y'all was all sitting at home. Juice, you could come to do the interview. That's it.
Juice, you can be in this 8-man match that we're doing, and maybe you can
don't tag him in.
Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe you tag in. I hope Jay White is okay. Though. Yes. I really do. The main event segment really started to open the show as Renee is outside and she's waiting for Ospreay, and as luck would have it, Ospreay just happened to show up right then and there. I hate this stuff. I hate it so much. It's one of my like minor pet peeves that I haven't really gotten a chance to talk. WWE does this all the time, and it's so stupid. It's like, I'm waiting for this person to arrive, and like they just happen to show up at that moment.
It could have been like simply where you see like they pan over to see what Ospreay sees, and he sees them walking out that door that he would eventually walk through himself. Like something as simple as that explains it all away and avoids it being so contrived the way they shot it, where it was just like do-do-do-do-do. Wow, wow, wow.
I don't even like. I don't even need Renee there. No, Renee's great, but like, did she really add much to this? If Renee's not there and you just do,
she was trying to get an interview.
If you just do Ospreay walking in, Death Riders confront, he goes past, Hangman confronts, they talk, and that's it. Like, is Renee really that integral to all of this?
Why would they be catching up with Ospreay outside unless Renee was trying to get a word with him?
Why wouldn't they be catching up with Ospreay outside?
They
know he's arriving.
When he arrives at the building, why not just talk to him when he gets to the building?
Because they're waiting for him outside after what happened on Sunday. That made plenty of sense.
The cameras?
No, the Death Riders would be waiting for him.
But who would be waiting for Ospreay? The scene started with Ospreay.
Well, yeah, the cameras are just going to be out there. So it's like we're waiting. We just catch Will Ospreay arriving. And then Ospreay comes in, and then Death Riders confront him.
That sounds a little too close to WWE with me. If I just see a random episode of AEW starts off with the camera catching up with Will Ospreay as he arrives at the building, I'm gonna think it should have this music in the background. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey!
What was that?
I think that's how the SmackDown theme. That's what it sounds like to me. The SmackDown.
Oh, I don't recognize the SmackDown theme. I'm sorry.
Hey.
I don't know what that is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey!
Okay. If you say so. I mean, I watched SmackDown allegedly.
He's admitting. He just admitted to everyone he does not watch SmackDown.
I don't pay attention.
They play that ad nauseum every single start of the episode.
I believe you. I do not pay attention to the Arrival stuff. I think it's very silly. Like, I think it's very silly on here. All right. So anyway, Ospreay arrives. He gets confronted by the Death Riders. We did get a video package before showing the end of redemption, and the Death Riders were backstage, and Moxley's yelling, "Get him before he gets you!" And then Mox is like, "I told you, you idiot! You should have gotten him first." And so Ospreay's arriving. The Death Riders confronts him. Garcia goes, "Hey, young boy Billy," and then
Young
Ospreay
boy
just
Billy
back elbows him. That shit was hilarious. That was very hilarious.
I was like, that was redemption for all those stupid scenes where this dude would be like, young boy Billy, young boy Billy.
Garcia should have put a bucket down there, and Ospreay would have tripped over the bucket, and then he would have just fell down. Oh, it's the Megan the Stallion. Okay, I know what you're talking about now, of the SmackDown song. It doesn't stick with me. The Raw theme sticks with me because it's an Eminem song.
Yeah.
So I know that song very well. Like, all right, now the SmackDown song is getting to me. I don't think you represented it well, SP3.
I know I didn't represent it well. I don't know the words to the song, but I know the rhythm. I know how it sounds.
Yeah. All right. I can hear it. I can hear it now when somebody said it's Megan the Stallion. I was trying to picture the SP3 singing it. I was like, I don't know what this is.
You didn't get it when I was like, no,
I didn't. You were a very good singer too, but I didn't get it. I did not get it at all.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I also just associate the Raw theme more than the SmackDown theme. Like that's the theme I think
fair.
of when it comes to this.
That's fair. I tried to do that song in the same way I did the SmackDown.
The Raw theme is monster. You're in my way and turn into a monster. Normal by the day, but at night turn into a monster. When the moon shine like ice road truckers, I'll be like one of them villain out of those blockbusters. Monster, fire spitter, monster. I do miss Fiend. Fiend was great. So Ospreay hits Garcia, and then Moxley holds back Pac, and then Moxley's like, "You sure you want to do that?" And said, "If you don't pull the trigger, I'm out." And then he puts the
he said you
don't get to pull the trigger for me. Yeah, you don't get the pull the trigger for me. And he said, "I'm out," and he gives him the Death Rider patch, and Moxie's like, "Okay, is that so?" And then Yuta took the patch, and then Ospreay kept walking, and for some reason Hangman's leaving the show.
I was confused by that. I was like, was he not medically cleared again or something?
Yeah, but then he was at the show later, so that was weird of why he was like, why did he have his gear?
His bag.
Yeah, his bag. Like if he just came out without his bag, and he just carries that thing around. He should have came out with his bag to the ring, and that's where with the luggage.
Like, I was just about to leave. I heard what was going on?
Poor Hangman. He was like, I was told I didn't have a match, so I was trying to leave, and then all of a sudden I got told I had to come back to help the conglomeration here. And Hangman says like, you helped me. If I need to help you, let me know. And Ospreay's like, I can't trust anybody. I got to do it on my own. And
I got these guys breathing down my back. I got the United Empire boys mad at me. I can't trust Kenny, which means I can't trust you.
Yes. And then Hangman's like, you've got this, brother. And that was that.
I believe in you. Sometimes believing in yourself is more important than anyone else believing in you, but I believe in you, Will. It's basically Hangman has taken on the role of Will Ospreay that Will Ospreay played last year.
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
Oh God. I thought this was a good opening to the show and set up put the pieces in place for what would be the main event segment and other segments that we would see throughout the show with the Death Riders and, like you said, Hangman coming out to make the save for the conglomeration later on in the show as well with a barbed wire steel chair. For what reason, I don't know, but he had it with him. And then the Death Riders.
That's what was in the luggage.
Yeah. They also set up Daniel Garcia versus Will Ospreay on tonight's Collision, coming off the heels of him getting faded.
Now, I don't mind Hangman being involved in this and like giving Will this like pep talk. I don't want it to go further than that. Is my only thing. I want this to largely be. I just want it to largely be Kenny and Will. Like I don't.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind that. I wouldn't mind a Hangman fighting off the Death Riders if they try to get involved, though.
I'm over Hangman Death Rider stuff.
I'm over the Death Rider stuff. Like I've been trying to like just move on. I'm ready to move on from all of that. But they I mean, if the goal at the end of the day was to set up Moxley as the first challenger for Ospreay after he wins the title, then the partnership between Ospreay and the Death Riders was worth it. But I also had to listen to the Stockholm Syndrome promo last night from Will. So
Omega comes out and he does show and tell. He said he showed Will how he felt by giving him the one-winged angel, and he said it doesn't matter who gets it. Ospreay got it, but maybe he didn't get it, so now he has to tell him what he did. And he said they had a promise to each other about being the champion and being their best, and it was friendship before the title. And he said it brought him joy to see him win the Owen. And what Ospreay did was say, it sucks that you gave up on yourself. And then he held the title up and it says, does it look like?
This was wild. Kenny saying to Will, I did you a favor. I let you enter the Owen Hart Cup.
Yeah.
Alone. I let you enter it alone. And when you won, I was so proud of you. And what did you do? You look me in the face and say I gave up on myself. Well, does this look like I gave up on myself? I was like, yes, he's back. That's the Kenny I needed. I needed him all this time.
Yes. Ospreay talks and he said, I came back too early from neck surgery. I was focused on revenge, and I lost, and I couldn't be the best wrestler in the world, even though I kept saying I'm the best wrestler in the world, and my body gave out, and I had no friends. And this was the funniest part, is he's like, United Empire wasn't there for me, Callum wasn't there for me, you weren't there for me, and Kenny's like, I was here. Yeah, I was like, yeah, dude.
I was like, thank you. Someone needs to say it, because this bullshit he's giving us, I ain't buying it either. I'm right there with Kenny. I'm like, I ain't buying any.
I was so glad Kenny was like, dude, I was here. I was like, yeah, Kenny wasn't like gone or anything. Like, what? Why is Will saying this? I was like, you weren't there, but the Death Riders were there, and they changed me, and they gave me new life. And they saw me for, who I could be and who I was. And he's like, I liked being a Death Rider. I was like,
I'll be honest, I like the camaraderie.
Yeah.
I like they're working together and how much they care about this place. I like the training. As well. I was like, he went through a whole diatribe of why he likes the Death Riders and couldn't come up with one good reason. One good reason. I just wanted to hear one good reason.
They tried to kill me. They tried to kill me and end my career. But you know what? We've got book meetings on Tuesday. Casual Friday is super nice. Pizza party Saturday. Man, you can't beat that. Even though they tried to end my career.
The Taliban did a lot of bad things, but they really work well together. They have this type of camaraderie where that's how crazy Will Ospreay sounds. It's like bragging about the camaraderie of the Death Riders. That was just outrageous. And I'm so glad that Kenny Omega called them out on this show.
You should see the dance parties these guys throw, okay?
The group outings are amazing. We do Taco Tuesdays.
We go to the pool. Wednesdays is members only. It's so great.
It's so great, you know. Me and Willow Yuta, we have splash parties. Like we just splash each other. It's so cool.
Me and Yuta are giving hair tips with each other. It's fantastic.
It's such great times.
And then he's like, I couldn't go through with, like, we don't love things in the same way, and I couldn't go through with trying to murder Nick Jackson and trying to murder you with the chair, and so that's why I saved you. I'm like, okay, sure. And Kenny's like, yeah, I know it took 5 years for me to like get this chair off of me and get up and actually do something.
It's like I sat there, I was too beaten up. Yo, the way he talks when he goes into heel mode, where he just has this smug delivery.
Dude, you know what popped me? You know what bothered me so much about this Kenny promo? He said "will" like at the end of every sentence. He's like, "You don't get it, Will." The reason why it took me so long to get up, Will, is because I was worried about you, Will. It's because of you, what you, Will, and all of your friends and the Death Riders, Will, did to me and all of my friends, Will. He just kept calling him Will. I want to call him William. It just feels so disrespectful.
William, you understand me, William? You planned that attack. You're not my friend. You lied. I was just like, oh my God. Kenny has just went full on cleaner mode. This is full on NJPW cleaner Kenny Omega, who's just paranoid and upset. He was like, I saw you. When I turned around, what were you doing standing there? You were holding my title with a ripped up plastic bag by your foot. And he was like, the only reason that it took so long for me to get up is because you thought about doing it. And then Will is going to stand up here and lie and say, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. We all saw it. We all saw you. You thought about it. Like, yo, that was, I felt like I was being gaslit when he told him. I was like, don't gaslight my Kenny God Omega like that. You're gaslighting him, saying, oh, no, I did. Yes, you did. You stood there. You thought about it. Then you ripped it. It took you like 5 minutes to rip the bag. So.
Yeah, that bag whooped his ass. He slapped the shit out of Will, too. That first one he called him really good with. I was like, hell yeah, that ruled. I slapped him. And then Ospreay was like, I was your friend. And then Omega kept slapping him. And then finally Ospreay fought back. And he was going to go for the hidden blade. But Kenny ducked down, rolled out of the ring. And he said, don't disrespect me. I'll kick the shit out of you.
Kick the shit out of you. Yo, when he says a curse word, he says it with all the bass in his chest. And then Will cut his best. This was one of his best promos ever. Like this was selling people to the building type of babyface promo. Talking about, like, you know, I've been getting the question of, am I gonna pull the trigger? He's like, I got a whole country on my back, bruv. He's like, I'm ready to pull the trigger. I don't matter who's across the ring from me, and I will pull the trigger. And unlike Moxley, who wants to attack you before the matchup, wants you to be weaker, unlike you, who wants to attack me from behind, I'm gonna pull the trigger, and I'm gonna pull it from the front. God damn, they sold. This was like the pay-per-view was on Sunday kind of promo. That's why I think that the main event segment with Ospreay and Omega was the better of the two promo segments, because Mercedes and Willow had a fantastic opening promo segment to build up until, you know, a pay-per-view that's in 4 weeks time. Omega and Ospreay, they went full on Roman and Punk style. And I don't know if they could do anything that's on this level ever again. So that's why I think that's the better of the two segments from the show, because they unloaded the clip in this segment.
Will Ospreay said a bunch of words and used the soccer analogy 3 weeks after the World Cup had ended, when he could have just said,
"This your warning shot, bruv."
Could have left it at that, and it would have been a much better promo. Instead, he just kept talking with this, and the crowd did not care about this soccer analogies at all. No pop for any of this soccer in England talk. But he's gonna pull the trigger, I guess. Allegedly, he will.
Do you get joy out of being a troll?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
As long as you're getting joy out of it. That's all.
I get a lot of joy out of it. That clip did numbers on Twitter. I was so excited after that to put that together. That warning shot, bruv. Give me credit for my creativity, folks.
No, I'm good. I am totally good for that. Nope.
If you watch it too, the words line up. Like what Ospreay is saying lines up with this your warning shot, bruv. I put a lot of thought into this. A lot of thought into all of this.
Yep. Yep. I'm sure you did. Pew, 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 pew.
That ruled. Oh.
It did. It was best part of Monday Night Raw this week.
I did like the Ospreay promo for the record. I did think it was great. I didn't care for the soccer stuff because the crowd didn't care for it. The crowd was like, what the fuck talking about soccer and penalties and like, okay, cool, England. Like, a Detroit crowd does not give a fuck about England. I'm sorry, Will.
No. He has to relax with going too heavy-handed with I got a whole country on my back, bruv. Because it works when he uses sparingly, but if he's gonna make that the whole pitch and he's gonna say it in every promo he does week after week, it's gonna start to feel like the whole US versus UK angle.
Yeah,
they decided to make the MJF Ospreay feud 2 years ago.
Yeah, the Detroit crowd, the U.S. crowd, is not going to care about that you are representing England. If anything, that heals you. Like,
this is true.
But the stuff with I'm gonna pull the trigger from the front. Like, okay,
yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Strong stuff.
Yeah, that was strong. I don't care that England sucks at penalties. I was waiting for him to invoke the name of Harry Kane and David Beckham out here. I'm not going to. The only thing I'm gonna bend like Beckham, bruv, is your face. Sure.
Bend him like Beckham. But yeah, no, they knocked this episode out the park. I would say that this and Beach Break, the best two AEW Dynamite episodes of the year so far.
Yeah.
We might get a third candidate next week with a Grand Slam Mexico.
Yeah. People are talking about the My AEW stuff. Yes.
Yeah, it's they got the Brawl in the Ballpark. I'm gonna check
Brawl in
that
the
out.
Ballpark, Pro Wrestling Eve, Rev Pro, WXW, WrestleCade.
Eve is on there now?
Yeah, Eve is gonna be on there.
Oh, let's go.
WrestleCade events, AML. They're adding a lot, honestly.
Rev Pro?
Yeah, Rev Pro.
Rev Pro? What? Oh man, I can finally cancel my Rev Pro on demand. Shit, damn. Crazy.
How dare you? How dare you? Is that Seth Green?
He's lame, but he's right.
Is that Seth Green?
It does look like Seth Green.
Yeah.
That's a good picture.
They got to get us for AEW radio delayed graps.
At some point, they will.
I don't know.
We'll be there. We'll be on AEW radio at some point.
We got this. Me and Jeremy and Joel and Jimmy Macaron. We're gonna be the host.
Jimmy's not going to. Jimmy's not going to.
Jimmy would turn it down no matter how much money they offer.
What happens to Janela is the same thing that happens to Janela
Every
every time he's
time,
booked
every time.
for this show. Is he does not show up on the day he is booked. This is the bit. Joey Janela never shows up on the day he is actually booked. A bunch of super chats here.
Yeah.
Let's catch up on. Thank you guys for all these super chats. Several content creators have known this before, but when you start allowing work shoots, pull back the curtain, the company becomes the heel. Yes. But the companies don't realize that, and that's why they're all stupid for doing them. Is the company thinks they are baby facing themselves and that the wrestler is going to get the heat, but instead
And it
the
never
company
works that way.
just never. That's why it's dumb to do this kind of stuff. They should keep doing it more, especially WWE, because it pops me and it's funny. C. Delgado says MJF costing Andrade next week the heat, brother. I hope so, because I want it to set up MJF and Andrade and not Andrade.
I think
being in the
MJF
gauntlet.
needs to be in a singles match at that pay-per-view.
I'm with you 100%. C. Delgado also saying greatest of generation leaves it opening for others. That's the tag team match. Yeah, and that's why I thought FTR was going to show up in this, but now they can show up later. Motor City can show up. New Day can show up after the match and be like, okay, beat the greatest of who you think was the greatest of the generation, but we're here. We're in this generation.
This is the last kind of probably their bucket list, because they faced the other two of the TLC 3 in matches over the years. This is the last of the TLC 3 for them to face.
They faced the Dudleys?
Yeah, when they were Generation Me in TNA.
That sounds fucking terrible.
It probably was like a squash match. Probably
Yeah, I was
like
about to
a
say
match
that
on
was
Impact. So, but
did they face it? That's a real match?
yeah, Team 3D versus Generation Me.
Let's find this match. I have to see this.
He's like, I don't believe it. What?
No, I mean, okay, TNA one night only tag team tournament. Okay. There's no way. This match had to be like 5 minutes long, right?
It wasn't probably long at all.
Yeah, there's no way this match was long.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this sounds awful. Oh, they faced them at House of Hardcore as well.
Oh, okay.
In a street fight. That might have been okay. It was 9 minutes long, so it got a little bit of time, I guess.
Pretty good.
All right.
Pretty good.
I guess that's the match that happened.
Pre the breakout for the Young Bucks.
Yeah,
They were still good. They were still good, man. Even in those days.
It was part of the TNA one night only tag team tournament. Do you know who won the TNA one night only tag team tournament in 2013?
2013.
Yeah.
The Machine Guns.
Team 3D SP3.
Oh, okay. I should have guessed that. Bully booked it himself.
And Machine Guns weren't even in the tag team tournament. It doesn't look like. But yeah. Team 3D defeated Austin Aries and Bobby Roode in the finals. All right. Sure. This show got a 4 on Cage Match. Like the entire show got a 4.
I wanted to check where this episode of AEW was at for on Cage Match, because I figured it would be a high 9s type of show.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody was pretty high on it.
Yeah,
9.18.
Okay. I think it was honestly stronger promo work than in-ring work.
Yeah,
last night,
I mean,
honestly.
like I would say that Andrade, Perry, and Wayne was the best matchup.
Yeah.
But like if like when I'm looking at my matches of the week, of course I'm having like redemption matches on it. On the redemption card, that matchup that was the best match on the show, in my eyes, probably would have been the 6th best match on the show.
Yeah.
At redemption. So yeah. Oh no, 5th best match. I forgot I had another matchup higher than
Volub saying, opening segment made me think this is what Tony wanted to book in 2021, except instead of Brody Lee and do with Hanger, it's Mox and Death Riders with Ospreay.
That's not.
Oh,
not,
and
not,
Dark
not
Order, not okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Dark Order. I was reading that as Do. I was like,
Do.
Do what?
He's like Dewdrop. Why would he want to align with Dewdrop?
That threw me off. Okay, yeah, possibly. I can see that now. Ernie also saying Kenny and Will were on some telenovela-ish. Jules saying, I like that people are finally realized that Will's character is he's just a dummy. He's a moron and a terrible friend. Kenny has the baby face and destroy Will. Why do you hate Will Ospreay, Jules?
I appreciate Jules so much. Just went off.
Why do you hate Will Ospreay?
What did Will Ospreay ever do to you?
He's a dummy and a terrible friend, clearly. And Kane Lake says he didn't slap him as hard as Shira slapped that fool. Yeah, JK.
It wasn't a slap fight.
He did slap the shit out of him though.
Yo, honestly. He did. You saw Will, the side of Will's face was getting red.
Oh yeah. And my wife commented on that. And she was like, Jesus, like his face is redder than like me when I get sunburn. That's what she said. Like, damn. Yeah, he did try to kill Kenny Omega.
He did.
Yeah. That's what popped me last night is and I pointed this out on Twitter is like Mercedes and Willow like have it when they're getting genuine heel babyface reactions. Meanwhile, Jon Moxley tried to kill Kenny Omega in Canada and then wanted Will Ospreay to kill Kenny Omega in Canada. And the moment he comes out, the crowd is cheering and chanting Moxley.
Did you hear them? There was even like slight boos when Will hands him back the Death Riders patch.
Yeah.
There's like a slight sense of boos. I was like, these people are.
Moxley's got these people brainwashed. Bless them.
Yo, I have somebody like literally doing like novels in my redemption review on True Heel Heat. Because I didn't think that the Will Ospreay, Don Moxley, Death Rider story made sense. He's like writing like telenovela novels. Like, no, you gotta understand. He was at this desperate state when they asked him to be in the Death Riders. So he was so broken, he decided to join them. You're missing the story beats here. I was like, sir, I'm not missing any story beats. I was like, no amount of verbiage can deny the fact that he joined up with his murderers. Like, don't matter how you want to explain it, it does not make sense that Will just says, you know what, you murdered me, but I'm gonna learn from you because I gotta work on my ground game.
Sorry, I just saw a message in the chat. They should have pitched they should have just pitched on like, hey, on Sundays we all get together and
the camaraderie.
we do a potluck.
Yeah. The camaraderie.
Yeah. That's all you gotta do. Anything else to cover today? SP3?
No, I think we covered it all. Covered it all. You guys can talk about Mara Sade and her contract tomorrow.
I think she's just gonna end up back in TNA, honestly.
Yeah, I do too. I do too as well. I was like, the only thing that makes sense is maybe AEW, but I don't understand how that makes sense for AEW. Too much.
Yeah. I don't see how it makes sense for AEW. I don't know. She's probably not going back to WWE.
Yeah.
It's
but then anything below TNA is kind of a downgrade. So.
Yeah. I think she's just going back to the TNA. So. Yeah. I don't like ROH. Sure. Where does she really fit in ROH though?
Exactly.
You know, like I honestly think there's more upward trajectory for her in TNA than
I do too.
Than ROH.
I do too. They treated her well. She's gotten a good place there. So I think the best thing for her career is re-signing with TNA.
Yeah. All right. What was your moment of Wednesday, SP3?
My moment of Wednesday had to have been Kenny Omega saying, "You liar, Will! You liar! You liar, Will! You lie!" That was awesome. I loved it.
My moment of Wednesday was
This your warning shot, bruv.
What did we accomplish today, SP3?
Worst. Before that, best matches of the week.
Oh yeah, best matches of the week. Sorry.
No worries. So I got 10 this week. 10, we got Jericho and Ciampa, no holds barred from Redemption. Just a crazy matchup. Insane. He used the drill to get the tap out pick.
That was the best match of the week.
Willow, Nightingale, and Tekla, the big win for Willow at number 9. At number 9 for me. Number 8, I got Hiroki Goto versus Shingo Takagi from the G1 Climax. That was on Wednesday. Then we got Speedball Mike Bailey and Brodito versus the Don Callis family from Dynamite last night at number 7. Number 6, Andrade, Nick Wayne, and Jack Perry from Dynamite last night. Number 5, I got the 6-way ladder match from Redemption. Number 4, I got Omega and Knight from Redemption. Number 3, I got the Young Bucks, Mox and Ospreay from Redemption. Number 1 and 2, honestly, I may flip it by the time I get to Saturday and have to do best matches for True Hill Heat because it's very close, and I don't mind if you have either one of these at number 1. But number 2 for me, I got Yota Tsuji versus Yuto Ice from the G1 Climax. And number 1, Fletcher Bandito from Redemption.
Okay. That's probably where I would lean as well. Yeah, that's probably where I would lean as well. Outside of obviously Jericho and Ciampa being the true number 1.
Of course.
Can't believe you had no love for the Vision against Otis. And
You can't even
Tozawa.
say it with a straight face. God damn.
I could never say anything involving the Vision with a straight face. Come on now. Let's be honest.
That's the only reason that Jeremy loved Grayson Waller's promo because he shitted on Austin Theory.
Yeah, facts.
That's the
I'm
only
not
reason
gonna
he
lie.
wanted it.
I mean, that's very on brand for me. Very factual. Like, why is this dude getting the opportunities when this dude is so much better? What are we doing here? People really want to hear us talk about Mara Sade leaving TNA. I don't think she's leaving
That's the
TNA.
second person. Yeah, that's the second person. Yeah, they'll
Yeah,
talk
they'll
about it.
segment.
They all TNA topics tomorrow.
Yeah. UEFA's boycotting all FIFA events. 55 countries are out of the World Cup. Well, Will Ospreay can win the World Cup now. I'd love to get Grayson Waller on the show. That'd be fantastic. I like Grayson Waller. All right. What did we accomplish today, SP3?
We got through the show, and I'm gonna go watch Spider-Man after AE Ramble.
Oh, nice. Don't spoil it, but let me know how it is.
I will.
'Cause we still gotta finish the first ones before we get to the new
I finished
one.
that this week. Man.
Yeah, we watch them in 12-minute chunks, so it takes us a little while
Fair.
to get through them. Yeah. I think the biggest thing we accomplished today is that Joey Janela is a man of his word, and when he is advertised for this show, he will be here tomorrow. That is how it always goes with Joey Janela. Everybody enjoy the Spider-Man. Hope it goes well and everything. Thank you guys for the super chats. A lot of super chats and support today. We appreciate that. Thank you guys for everything. SP3, let them know where they can find you at.
Twitter machine at True SB3. The True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel. I'll be live at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time with Jimmy Macaram to review AEW Dynamite. 9 times out of 10, I believe that Jimmy enjoyed last night's show, but I can never guess what Jimmy feels, so he probably hated it.
Joel and I will be back tomorrow. I'll be back later on with Jensen on the Spotlight, 6 o'clock this evening, because I got to cover Collision tonight. And then Joel and I will be back tomorrow. He'll force me to talk about TNA. That's going to be unfortunate. Until then, everybody, y'all take care. Have a good day. If you want to see Spider-Man, have a good day. Talk to y'all later.
Have a brand new day.